Up my freaks, RuinusInsight here with part 12 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Skarbrand the Exiled Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, we have declared war upon and have been taking out the armies of the clan Moors Skaven, taking out Queek Headtaker himself, followed by like 5 of his armies, something along those lines. Skarbrand has reached rank 50 and other armies are moving on in, with hopefully soon to follow the destruction of Gua, the Soul Crusher, and thereby the disappearance of the abominations from our territory, which will allow us to transfer all of this northward, and we've been planning on it. Otherwise, we have effectively a new turn for us here, so I guess we're just going to have to start moving. Now, ARBAAL, you do have a fight. ARBAAL. Actually, you know what? I was going to say Skarbrand, you have a fight, but ARBAAL, I do believe you actually have a fight potentially as well, as Kazimira Bebchuk has moved southward, eh? Alright, I'll take it. Here's what we'll do then. Assuming that you're in range, and in range you are, we'll fight this. You will, of course, have the Knights of the Brazen Throne, as they are far cheaper in your army, or at least should be cheaper in your army than any other army. You do apply the, you do apply the Unbreakable to them. You do have the upkeep reduction, although I'm never sure whether this actually works for Regiments of Renown, because sometimes I feel like it doesn't, but anyway. I suppose, wait, what we could do is this. I just want to take a look at, if we look at the Knights of the Brazen Throne, here they're 540, and here in ARBAAL's, they're still 540. Yeah, so, unfortunately with the Regiment of Renown, it seems to not work, but, all good, whatever. Replenish, and you're waiting for rank 10, so you will be a little bit, and you will be a little bit as well, but you can obviously replenish. Frankly, we'll be fighting a lot of Kislevites, and I'm willing to bet Thick Skin is actually going to be fairly useful for you. Granted, you don't have your warship. Well, actually, yeah. Just go replenish troops. And since you don't have your war shrine, you'll be fine. You, of course, will have Chaos Commander, because we always have to have a Chaos Commander. And I usually like to do Raging Stalwart for the additional spell resistance for the hero's army. It's just nice. Magicka's Weakness gives us additional campaign movement range, so it's more valuable than anything else. And we'll do training so that these guys can be trained up to level up. ARBAAL, in the meantime, has, let's see, I'm going to say we got to get at least the 3 points into Call to Bloodletting. The lack of magic items, unfortunately, has been rather somewhat irritating in this particular campaign, and we need more is what I'm getting at. Anyway, time to declare war, and I don't know what I clicked to do that, but I didn't mean to.
Enemy, and no enemy of mine lives long.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Let us talk to Warhost of the Apocalypse, and rather than allowing Archie to get wiped out, funny though it may be, we will join your war against Urson Revivalists for cash. We could do an alliance, but frankly, I don't really care. If Skarby was up here, I'd probably send him to kill Archie just for the defeat trait and, you know, again, limited alliances and all that. Anyway, ARBAAL, it is murder time. It's your favorite time of year. Ah, you can't reach in summoning stance? Well, that's all good. This should be more than sufficient. Also, I should probably give you some items, but admittedly, we also don't have a lot of items. We'll do it later. It's not like we really need you to. Anyway, debut battle, go.
The slimmer your chances, the greater the glory you will reap.
Alrighty, Khorne does love a hopeless fight after all, and here we go. Oh man, the you gotta think that the banner here almost works like a sail, doesn't it? Like that's gotta interfere. There's a lot of wind resistance that that would confer. It's frickin' bigger than ARBAAL himself. But anyway, ARBAAL heads directly towards the enemy line with, of course, the Knights of the Brazen Throne in tow. One of the coolest looking units in the game. I love the whole brass and black color scheme that they've got, and well, I imagine they're going to do good work here. Now obviously we could have run around the enemy instead of getting hit by the Uragan cannons, but we're going to run directly at them and see what we can take in terms of damage, and see what they can do as well. Alright, so ARBAAL makes his way forward first. Looks like the enemy unit of light war sleds goes into rampage because of Feral Rage by the looks of it. And we've taken about a quarter HP damage on the Knights of the Brazen Throne. They will crash through the enemy line of armored Kossars, rush through them, and then directly into the Streltsy behind them. And then from the Streltsy through another unit of something, and then into the enemy artillery pieces, cutting down the crew like nobody's business. The charge giving them about 10,000 damage. The rest of our army is very much on the way with piles of Chaos Warriors of various kinds. I'm going to eat a few blasting charges, or whatever, Molotovs, I guess. The enemy chucks at us, and the fight begins. Nice to at last fight some humans. Not Empire yet, but funnily enough, the Empire seems to be getting stronger and stronger with every episode. So if we do make it over there, it will, by the looks of it, be a pretty decent foe for us. Alrighty, ooh, and I do like the red versus blue contrast that we got in this particular fight as well. It'll be nice if we should find a decent amount of other Kislevites to fight later on. Anyway, ARBAAL, his cultists, and his exalted hero are all in the midst of the fight. The enemy lord decided not to directly fight ARBAAL, but that kind of makes sense. It is a hag mother after all, and that was just never going to go well. And, ooh, you gotta love the massive acceleration that the blood and skull crushers get on the charge. Man, if we give these guys a banner of swiftness, they could also be really, really nasty as well. I'll think about it. There are other banners that would be very nice too. Also, ARBAAL activates his ability, and he does have the ability to summon a Chaos Spawn on top of a damaged enemy unit that has 20 HP or less remaining, which is kind of interesting, but I don't think there's enough room in his army to put sufficient Chaos Spawn to sort of make it worthwhile, so I think we're just going to leave those as they are. Ooh, looks like one of the Knights of the Brazen Throne goes down. They've lost 2 of their numbers so far, but by the looks of it, they're not going to lose anymore, as the Kislevites will shatter, and the battle is ours. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Alrighty, well, that's to start. I'm sure ARBAAL will have plenty more battles, especially once we fill out his army and send him after, well, everyone in the general vicinity, really. Alrighty, there we go. Solid work with, of course, the Knights of the Brazen Throne doing the lion's share of the damage. Though, in terms of pure kill count, looks like one of the Chaos Warriors with dual weapons certainly kept up, and well done. ARBAAL himself got a solid 20k damage, I think, in big part due to his explosion ability, which clearly really helped out here. It's not a lot of skulls, and our money situation is just ridiculously bad right now, so I feel that we have to offer us tribute rather than heal. So I think that's what we'll do. Much as I'd like to heal, ooh, but this will give us the campaign movement range and casualty. But nah, you know what? Devour the captives. We'll do the other thing next time. Yeah, Drill Master. I was about to say I should have given you one anyway, and the game did. So good for you, game. Good for you. You're gonna go back into combat trials and channel while we make our way towards tribe slaughter. Pav of the Storm Ravens is trying to recruit a Beastman Giant. Who does Kirak Flag belong to, I wonder? It says Chaos Corruption, right? Could be nobody, could be the rats. It's unclear, basically. We do want Temple of Heimkel for ourselves also, because iron is pretty critical. I'm just wondering whether we could just move you in and not recruit the giant this turn, and then have you recruit him next turn. I'm gonna risk it. I just want to make sure that we've got these guys moving in towards Tribe Slaughter to reinforce. Let's put you in ambush just so that the AI doesn't know that you're here. Assuming it doesn't cheat its way to knowing you're there. And keep moving forward. Next up, I do believe it's Skarbrand time. Dringo Karaz. We got a new army there, lots of storm vermin, and ooh, we got 3 regiments of renown. That's the AI for you. Let's see how well that works out for them, shall we? Dringo Karaz. And we got a little bit in the way of defenders having come back up as well. Huh. I wonder, will the presence of these heroes block Skarby from moving away if he raises it this way? I'd really like to hit Asgal and Kradtommen, but there's no guarantee that we'd be able to. I guess we'll find out. Either way. Oh, and also Crooked Fang Fort is... Oh. Yeah, I remember now. Well, I've dealt with actually, that I didn't forget, but anyway, it's fine. We will occupy it eventually. For now, though, we're busy killing things. Go kill.
For the blood god, skull for skull throne.
Alrighty, here we go again. As usual, Skarbrand will lead with his Vanguard deployment. He's able to close the distance with really enemy army pretty darn quickly. And, well, other than the lizards, force them into rampage and, well, rampage on himself. He's going to break through the line of clan rats or whatever that was and head directly towards the enemy lord, as well as any critical units like those teeth breakers or rattling guns, in order to force them into rampage. It does look like he'll be blocked up by the Morsketar's Pit Fighters of Hell's Deep here. And the rampage will force everybody to come towards him, and once again, the bane of my existence. I hate this. Well, not quite as much as Greybeard's Prospectors, maybe, but I hate this quite a lot. The frickin' Skaven that. I mean, look how silly this nonsense looks. They need to remove that effect from the game. Just keep the ability, remove the effect. Why does it have to be all over everything? Why is it gigantic and see it on a frickin' like thunder barge and it's just anyway. I've been complaining about this thing for as long as it's existed. Ooh, lovely fire breath from Skarby though. And followed by a lovely old axing, and probably we'll get a kicking sooner rather than later as well. Alrighty, and obviously the rats have blobbed up around him and are having a bad time, but there are other elements of our army fighting elsewhere, at the least now there are, as the Bloodletters have arrived, and by the looks of it, there are still plenty of enemies to clear out. Storm Vermin have in the past been fairly decent foes for our regular Bloodletters, but now that they're all exalted Bloodletters, they should be able to cut them down in short order. And of course, the Exalted Bloodletters have the ability that if they go below 50% HP, their attack gets increased plus 100%. So they will do massive damage if they, well, I guess if they take massive damage. Anyway, it looks like the middle of our line gets stopped in their tracks by those seismic snares, and plenty of rats still fighting. And many of them in this disgusting gross water here, which also makes sense. Khorne's Bloody Fist has landed and is taking care of the enemy Pit Fighters of Hell's Deep, while Skarby continues rampaging through the center of the enemy line. We're also going to pop off a summon, getting a few Bloodletters on field just to help trap the rats sort of against our mainline infantry. Not that by the looks of it we'll need to for too much longer, as the bounce power is at about 85% in our favor, and while a few units yet fight, I don't imagine they'll be doing so for too much longer. Our Flushhounds did fight on the right flank for a little bit, but are now looped around the enemy army and are making sure that those units that rout stay routing. And just chase them down, because as usual, the thing with fighting the Skaven is if you let them, they'll rout and rally a million times. But with the Fleshhounds present in this army, at least for now, well, that isn't going to happen. Anyway, with that, I do believe the last of the rats have shattered and Skarbrand carries another day. The army took a little bit of damage on some of the Bloodletters. Here, the Red Hot Pokers, for example, lost 40% of their HP, but only 13 units, so they'll recover to nearly 90% anyway. Alrighty, very, very nice, and Skarbrand didn't destroy the entire enemy army before our bloodletters got there and got stuck in. Actually, a bunch of them getting twice as many kills as he did, and at least keeping up in terms of damage dealt with. The arena butchers, by the looks of it, butchering rats outside the arena just as well. And of course the Hellforged hosts doing fantastic, but it's a regiment of renown, and what do you expect? Close victory, oh, and for the dogs, 143, pretty solid, but with 14k damage, it's the Khorne dogs. Once again, classic. Blood for the Blood God will give us a blood host here, which we could in theory use to occupy so that Skarbrand doesn't have to waste his time. Granted, we've been doing a lot of blood hosting lately, but this will also heal us up, considering these are worthless, so I'm gonna go with that. Alrighty, and then, Skarby, you have recovered just... no, wait. I was about to say just not enough to reach Crad Tommen, but I lied. You can reach Crad Tommen. I guess I could have gone to Spite Peak instead, but whatever, too late. Ally mission successful. Ah, nice. What do we have here? We have some rats. Go figure. A whole lot to resolve these. We'll get damaged, but it's a waste of time. And this time I think we'll... Ooh. 9k though. That's a full turn worth of money. I gotta sack. Gotta do it. Yeah. Alright, sack, and this time moving. That did not recover anywhere near enough to be able to head towards Karak Azgal, unfortunately, which means I guess we'll go past Crad Tommen, then we'll head into raiding stance and then hit Azgal next. And I'm gonna hope that it actually has a decent garrison in it. Alright. Next up, you can reach Crad Tommen, but we'll actually want you to raise it next turn, so I guess we'll have you do that. In fact, I guess all of you could do it to leech XP. You can still head out this way to scout and essentially use yourself as bait. I like that idea. Whereas the Raging Hounds can lead these little piles of armies until they're ready to get their own thing. Actually, you know what? The Skarby, in the meantime... Oh, I was going to get your regiment over now, but anyway, we'll do it later. Golgast, you cannot yet move, unfortunately. Alright, actually, who can move? Actually, before we move anybody, two things. I would like to take a look at our items real quick. We just got a couple. I don't really care for the Obsidian Trinket. I do care for the Opal Amulet. Ah, Dawnstone. Alright, so we'll take the Dawnstone and the Obsidian Trinket. We'll fuse them into a nice Obsidian Lodestone. Then we'll take the Relic Sword and the... Ooh, but the Relic Sword does give us magical attacks. It can actually be useful for those heroes that don't have it. Potion of Speed, can we combine you with anything? Yeah, we got a Spotter Spyglass, why not? Come on, Potion of Healing, what do we got? Potion of Healing, there it is. Beautiful. Do we have... Okay, well, we'll give the Potion of Healing to ARBAAL. Make sure that he's not getting defeated. Whenever fighting him, obviously, he has a bad habit of constantly getting defeated by stuff. So, Talisman of Preservation, you are a legendary lord after all. We will give you, I guess, a Helm of Discord for now. At least until we can get you an armor, a gambler's armor, an armor of destiny or something. And I'm going to say, yes, Potion of Healing. I should have remembered that. One Crown of Command, hopefully we'll get another. Also, what about ancillaries? We have a Banner of Unholy Victory, which is fine. What do we have here? Cornate Mutant? Oh, actually, frankly, you guys should probably hold on to some Cornate Mutants, because they'll increase the army's healing rate. But ancillaries... I assume that the Knights of the Brazen Throne, they do not do magical damage. Oh, well, that's an easy, yeah, solution. A Lichbone Pennant, absolutely 100% a Lichbone Pennant. We also got that Trophy of Killers, which gives Perfect Vigor and Unbreakable. We should give this to a big old regiment of renown, like maybe the Heralds of Khorne's Fury. Because they already have magical damage, so they wouldn't need a Lichbone Pennant. Yes, good, Ruinous, good. Anyway, Major Rager, where be ye? Ah, you are waiting outside of Kairos' territory. Stay there, buddy. Stay there and channel until you're maxed out, and then start, you know, prepping the birds for cooking. The Fear Reapers. You are doing two things. First of all, you're looking for islands. And second of all, you're passing by these territories to see where... Aha, there it is. I was wondering where this army went. Unfortunately, I don't think you will win this fight. However, regardless of the fact that you won't win, I feel like we should fight it, because this seems like a Khornate thing to do, and I really enjoyed the last stand of the little army that we had before. It's just too bad that this one didn't get a get at least one strong unit, because any single entities in this army we basically have no way of easily killing, or not easily killing, just killing in general. Target settlement will be raised, not our problem. Funnily enough, we can declare war on Kugath and destroy his last settlement if we really wanted to. It would be amusing. Actually, now that we're at war with these guys, we could raise the Haunted Forest, but again, it's a matter of wanting to actually sack it, because clearly we need the money. I'll think about it. Skull Throne, we got everything on cooldown for one turn, and ooh, Devotion's Tithe is up and running next turn. That'll be nice. Just gotta make sure that Skarbrand is in position to take advantage of it. And Karanak, we're working on that trophy hall. Actually, you know what? Let's spend a little bit of money. I want to upgrade Galbaraz to tier 4. Why? Because that'll give us access to soul grinders. And also the skull cannons, but we really want those soul grinders. Yes. Alrighty. Regardless of the crazy cost, I think that was a good priority. Anyway, the Fear Reapers. Let's see. Oh, they're right beside an island, too. Oh, that's so rude. Yeah, obviously, you will probably not win here. The biggest problems are going to be the single entities and the fact that we're outnumbered 2-1. Oh, they got the Spellbreakers. Oh, and the fact that the Spellbreakers and the Knights have all magical damage, so we can't really rely on our tankiness with the physical resistance. Hey, what can you do? Go. I said go.
Rejoice! Slaughter awaits! Murder, butchery, carnage!
I do rejoice. Do you rejoice? Maybe you should rejoice harder. Anyway, here we go. I always rejoice hard. Anyway, the enemy army arrayed before us is significantly better than ours, so this is likely to be the last stand of the Fear Reapers, but, well, this is exactly the way that they would want to go out. Like I've said before, when we did the little other Blood Host last stand in the sort of early game. That said, there are 4 critical units we have to watch out for. Well, 5 if we count the Black Knights, but really it's the 2 units of Cairn Wraiths and the 2 units of the Necrarch Bloodline Spellbreakers from SFO, because they all do magical damage. And obviously all of those are concerns. Now, we do try to draw the Black Knights forward and do so successfully and isolate them, waiting to engage until they got under the tree line so that they would suffer the anti-large unit debuff. And then surrounding them with 4 or 3 units of Fleshhounds sees us destroy the Black Knights fairly rapidly. Unfortunately, the enemy closes in with the Cairn Wraiths and immediately on the charge does about 50% damage to one of our Fleshhounds, which is pretty darn severe. The units of Cairn Wraiths are an even bigger threat because of their magical damage to all of our units, and their high damage dealing in general. And so we will use our Furies, or send our Furies in to trap them against the Fleshhounds and use all the Fleshhounds, including the damaged ones, to surround them and destroy them. Fortunately, Cairn Wraiths are fairly fragile against magical damage dealers and with the low melee defense that they have, especially when they begin crumbling. And it looks like the unit is done, though admittedly at the cost of more HP damage in terms of our Fleshhounds and those Furies, which are pretty much destroyed. In the meantime, the main battle line has closed, and the enemy Graveguard and such are facing off against our piles of Bloodletters. Now, the enemy outnumbers us fairly significantly, but more importantly, those Spellbreakers, Scythe-wielding skeletons, and the other Cairn Wraiths are still interspersed amongst the enemy battle line and will cause us a lot of headache, most likely. We're going to try to do our best to sacrifice 1 unit of Bloodletters. This is a strategy that you can use sometimes to sort of keep as many of the enemy army as possible distracted on one flank. So these guys managed to tie up 4 units. The enemy's still trying to make their way past them, and hopefully we'll be able to use that thing that prevents them from dying. Relentless Rage, I think it was? Or was that the name of the other? Anyway, just to keep them away from the fighting while we try to press our advantage everywhere else. Well, that's the dream, anyway. And the balance power remains very much in the enemy's favor, and we are starting to take pretty severe damage on several of our units. The Bloodletters over on the left flank that are set to be sacrificed are very nearly destroyed, and it looks like our Herald of Khorne was unable to defeat the Strigoi Ghoul King in a more or less one-on-one, unfortunately. But perhaps unsurprisingly, the Strigoi are pretty fighty. And it is just a level 1 Herald of Khorne. Eventually, if we get the technology, we would technically start all the blood hosts with an exalted bloodthirster rather than a herald, which would be a pretty big increase in strength. Speaking of the herald, he's just trying to make his way to taking a couple more heads. He's melting away and has maybe a 5% or so, a sliver of HP remaining. But what can you do? The bounce power remains in the enemy's favor, though it does look like we have managed to catch, isolate, and destroy a unit of Graveguard and a unit of Skeleton Warriors over on the right flank. Similarly, however, our own left flank has collapsed. That sacrificed unit is done for, and with the fall of our Lord, who disintegrated, several of our units are now melting away due to the morale shock. Luckily, the Blood Shrine is still fighting, so it is both dishing out damage, annoying the enemy army by disrupting their formation, and of course providing aura to everybody around. And let's see, we got that Strigoi Ghoul King who's going to move together with his White King over onto the right flank. This is actually working reasonably well. The one unit we've kept relatively safe in this particular battle to dish out the damage was our single unit, or one of our 2 units rather, of exalted bloodletters, rather than the regular bloodletters who took the brunt of the enemy charge and thus damage. The exalted ones over on the right flank now purposely surround the enemy lord, hack away at it until they bring the Strigoi down, and will now turn to the White King as well. And it looks like with the fall of the enemy lords, similar to our own, though our entire army seems to be melting away, and with about 5% of their HP remaining on most units, with the clutch rear charges from the Fleshhounds once they return to the fray, and it looks like we do manage, surprisingly, to carry the day. A very, very nice final fight for this particular little blood host. Again, I really do enjoy the blood host battles, just like the caravan battles. Alrighty, that one did put a smile on my face. A more coordinate fight I could not ask for, as basically almost everybody died on both sides. That's fantastic. And we got a decent chunk of change and a little bit in the way of skulls out of it. Offer's Tribute does give us 2,000 money, but we can't really get too much out of it. This army is probably no longer viable as well, so we may as well just take the skulls, as recovering would probably be pointless. Repo captives, please. I like so. Enemy killed in battle. Too bad we can't acquire any items. And you are just short of... oh. Ah, no, you'll survive with 58 HP. Go figure. And we should be... there shouldn't be a battle at the Remnants of Battle, therefore we should be able to pick it up next turn before we disband the army. Isn't it lovely? Alright, pretty happy with that. Let's see what else we've got. The Blood Harvesters. Who are you again? Ah, yes, you're searching for islands around here. I mean, yeah, go down here. I hate the fact that you're gonna suffer attrition to do it, though. Go here. There may still be islands around. May want to keep an eye on that Zinchen force as well. Alright, I don't see any islands there. What about the scouts? You were finding Mr. Sail, which I believe you should have by now. Oh, yeah, there he is. And having found Sail, I believe you are no longer needed, because you found everybody else here as well. At least everybody had some important... hello! We got a landmark here, not one I've seen. What is this? Allied recruitment cost minus 20... oh, that's a really nice landmark that we will never get because it's super far away. Huh. I should try to pay attention to if there are any other interesting landmarks. It's been a while since I've played Khorne, so I do wonder if there are some, well, probably somewhere that I'm not aware of. Well, either way, we no longer need the scout, I believe, so we will disband you. You don't have any items, right? No. Alrighty, we need the capacity much more than we need the scout, and the other scout, you are only here to find Valkia, so go northward until you find her, and then you'll be good. Alright. I believe that's it. Now, we do have a little bit of money, though we do have to be very careful with it, again, because of the, yeah. But there may be some more loot buildings to build. Like here at Teotihuacan, we will build a trophy rack. I'd love to upgrade you, but I don't think we can afford it right now. Granty Mingle, you're fine. No trophy racks here. Can't really invest in anything. Trophy chamber here, yes. Everything that will get us more money at this current time. Ah! Devil's Backbone, Mahrak, etc. Trophy racks, and trophy... Wait, what is this? Cultist Camp Obsidian. I mean, I like the Own Armies faction-wide thing, but trophy racks. And then, before I forget, wait, actually, let's upgrade both of you to be able to upgrade these trophy racks sooner. There was something else I wanted to do here, but I don't remember what it was. All right, I wanted to check the gold mine. So this gold mine is being upgraded, and then this gold mine is... Ah, yes, next turn. Good. Oh, Camry. Would you look at that? We got more trophy racks. Let's prioritize upgrading this cultist outpost, however, and in fact, even spend the money to upgrade this one. A little bit expensive, but yeah, I'll do that. And then I think we'll have to leave the rest of the money, because upgrading this will eventually get the additional upgrade on the rest of the cultist outpost, and therefore cheaper buildings, and therefore more trophy racks. Always more trophy racks. Alrighty. Income, or not income, public order-wise, rather. We've got a few territories which are losing their public order. Ooh, wow, this one's supposed to get massively, but it will gain blood tributes soon. Cracked land is already in blood tributes, and just needs more of those, Oh, right, we have the unhappy populace. I was wondering why we were losing so much control. Ugh, I say. Anyway, skip. And then the turn. Yes. Did I forget anything? If I did, it's too late. Go. Alright, please tell me that Karak Azgal is worth sacking. Please tell me that it isn't a level 1 or tier 1. Ooh. Also, we'll be able to use our blood beasts here. And gore beasts. Clan Molder. Non-aggression pact. No. You don't have any units we want. Oh, he's gonna try to get that iron, isn't he? Actually, that might be good for us, because if we declare war on him, then we will be able to occupy it from him, rather than if it's somebody that we want to be friends with, like the Chaos Dwarfs or something. Well, friends. Have a mutually beneficial relationship. Friends with benefits, you might say. Anyway, ambush foiled. Oh, that actually doesn't matter. I don't know why I said you. Not able to reach tribe slaughter. You, however, are. Therefore, we will have you sack it. 10k. Although... Alright, you know what? Let's leave you alone for a while. Warheart of the Shadowgave Destroyer. Oh, rats. How dare you destroy them? Oh, it was the Pirates of Sartos. Damn you, I wanted the massive amount of missile resistance from defeating them, but alas, we couldn't. At least Malagor did something useful. Also, somebody suggested we tell him to defend the territory, and I guess we'll give it a try. Defend target. They'll try to protect it for a limited amount of time. Go defend Karak Zorn? Nah, that's close to these guys. We need you to defend something that's far enough away from any enemies so that you can't conquer them. You know, let's try Mount Arachnos. See what he does. See if it works. 20% income from all buildings. This probably gives us like 5 gold extra per turn, because it does nothing for Khorne. Anyway, Grog Trolltooth. You were channeling. What do you have again? Banner of the Unholy Victory, which isn't too bad. I really wanted a Mauler. Like a Chaos Lord Mauler, because everybody else seems to be able to get Mauler, even Heralds, but not these guys. Maybe I'm just having bad luck with them so far. Anyway, I'd like you to keep channeling, because we might need you to fight, and I'm most likely going to evolve you into a Demon Prince, because we'll want at least one. Then, Skarby. I'd like you to move to Karak Azgal, though I do wonder, wait, you, head to Krad Tommen for a second. And encircle it, just give me a minute. I would like to see whether these guys, if in March stance, would be able to reach Karak Azgal to leech, but apparently they are not, alas. Oh, I shouldn't have kept you in camp stance. Why did I put you in camp stance? Makes you lose your mana. I always forget that it does that for Khorne, damn it. Ugh, that's my bad. Alright, anyway, you all will move in and leech the XP from the raising of Krad Tommen. We don't need Skarby for this. And I assume nobody will die. The pigs will get hurt because they always... Ah, actually, they barely got hurt, but there was barely any defenders. And we will, I think, not use the skulls for this one. Also because it's a blood host generating a blood host, and we don't want that. Skulls for the skull throne. There you go. Yeah, for great icon of despair. Lovely. Okay, wait. It depends on what we have at Karakazgal. Let's check this out. It's bounty killer, and no doubt. Anyway, what do we have? Oh, hello. That looks like a tier 4 garrison. Yeah. Yeah. That's good. That's very good. You guys obviously once again cannot reach Skarby. This, I think we have... I was about to say no choice but to fight. It's not actually all that great of a gear. I mean, it's a decent enough garrison. They have no chance against Skarby. It's just that we're gonna take so much damage auto-resolving. But we will have several turns to recover as we move northward. It's not like we're afraid of Compule here. What's he gonna do? Advance on us? Oh! Wait, he might be able to take... Nah, no, he's not gonna be able to take. We just auto-resolve it. Does Feral Rage help us at all with this? Oh no. The auto-resolve, I mean. Oh, damn it. You know what could have helped us if I hadn't forgotten again to put a frickin' hero in there, or a Regiment of Renown temporarily in here. Okay. Someday, guys, someday. We need to get to Spike Peak. Are you able to reach it? I want to see what's over there. We've got barely any defenses, enough I think to raise it. How much money would you get out of raising this? 7,000, not so bad. I'd like to use you to... Oh, you can't actually reach it? Oh, that's disappointing. It's tremendously disappointing. We could just sacrifice... I mean, we were going to delete this one anyway. It's pretty much non-viable. Frankly... I was about to say, maybe the auto-resolve here is in our favor, but really the Blood Crushers would most likely be able to just kill all the rats, and this is too small a fight, I think, to fight this particular episode. In another episode, maybe, but in this one... Ooh, sack value or skull value? We are about to start recruiting stuff again. Or occupying stuff again. Oh, actually no, we need the money sack. And then we'll raise it next turn, but I fear that you will not be able to. What you can do is raid rather, while you move into the territory. Anyway, as I was saying, since we already fought the small battle with the Fear Reapers, I wasn't gonna fight 2 of these small battles. If it was another episode, I would have fought that one just for fun. Anyway, you can go for, I guess, Sunken Chest. Free Banner of Eternal Flame, nothing else. You will die next turn, unless you go into a place where, wait, is there any island here? Again, you may not be viable to fight a regular island battle, but you might be viable enough to... Huh. There's not a lot of defenders in Dragonfang, man. Too bad you can't heal. We could, funnily enough, probably take Dragonfang Mount and generate a weaker blood host, but I'm not so sure that it's worth it. I'll think about it. Ooh, Golgast, yes. I did want to try this out. Am I forgetting anything here? You are looking pretty good. Let's do it. Oh, would you look at that, Imric? Ooh, that's a tempting target for whole Skarby, wouldn't you say? Anyway, we got 3 Carronades. Let's see how they stand up to war against the Blood Beasts and the Gore Beast chariots. Fun stuff.
Butcher them without mercy. Let them know the depths of Karneth's hate.
Can you butcher them with mercy? Because I feel like it's kind of redundant. But anyway, here we go. First of all, nice to see the irregular Chaos Lords on field, and most importantly, the Gorby's chariots, plus the regular chariots, of course. And frankly, the goal for this particular fight is going to be to make sure that the regular chariots are ahead of the Gorby's chariots, such that they can do a little bit more damage and maybe get a little bit more kills, and we can evolve them to Gorby's chariots, because this is a Gorby's army. Yes. Gorby's chariots, plus of course Skyla leading his giant pack of blood beasts of Khorne, all of which will hopefully work nicely together. In the meantime, though, we have, a quarter of our army able to Vanguard deploy, which is the Khorne Gores, and we immediately deploy them at the side of the enemy army to distract them as much as possible. I'm hoping that we can distract enough of the enemies that at least one of our units can get through and rush the enemy carronades before they knock out too many of our chariots. Now, obviously, Khorne Gores versus the Depth Guard with Twin Axes is going to be a bad time for the Khorne Gores. A bad time, but what can you do? On the bright side, though, the distraction is working, and here come the chariots. Regular chariots go right through that poor unit of whatever, and then smash into the carronades. And it looks like take out about 60% of the HP of the unit that they smashed into. Now the regular chariots can press the enemy artillery and make sure that they can't fire, while our Gorby's chariots start rushing through the enemy lines and moving to help against the Depth Guard. Whereas the Depth Guard would surround and probably quickly destroy the regular chariots, the Gorby's chariots are very nasty melee fighters and are perfectly happy to continue in this manner. All the while, the Gorby's chariots have now been joined by the Blood Beasts and Skyla Anthengrim in a big old blob. And since this is a relatively, it's almost a full stack. I was going to say it's a relatively small army, but it's not an army where we have to be super concerned about doing a lot of cycle charging with our chariots. They'll be fine. Maybe not so much the Khorne Gores that were fighting the Depth Guard with twin axes, but we fully expected that to be the case. And besides, it's not like they're doing very poorly. Now that the Bestigors have arrived to help them, the Khorne Gores can flee while the Bestigors can continue doing work. Yeah, see, the Bestigors with, they do actually get the red color scheme on their, tattered rags, and those tattered rags make them certainly look like they fit nicely into our roster. Otherwise, it looks like the enemy army has shattered, and it is only now a matter of time. Plus, our Chaos Lord should now level up and get an get a Gorby's chariot of his own. Gorbeast for everyone. You get a Gorbeast, and you get a Gorbeast, etc. Anyway, looks like the Depth Guard are done, and only some zombies remain surrounded and destroyed. Damn it, the bloody... Speed it up. They're gone. That didn't happen. Alrighty, there we go. Very nice to see the Blood and Gore Beasts in action. Of course, the regular Khorne Gores didn't want to wait, but that checks out. And I kind of like how the Khorne Gores went in first as the sort of fodder elements of this particular army, and then the Bestigors, the stronger and harder hitting ones, followed them in, and, higher in the tribe. Anyway, we've got the, war herd, Skyla's doing 7.6k damage, not nearly as much as he's been doing together with Skarby, mind you, but all good. This army will only get stronger from here, and it looks like it's pretty fun to play. I'd love the money, and I'd love the skulls, but I think this army doesn't have the Devour Captives, and therefore we need to start getting it, because the extra campaign movement, rage, and replenishment will keep it doing, important things. Charmed Shield and 20,000 favor. That's one of the things we wanted. And then you've recovered enough to keep moving. And where shall you keep moving? We want to hit the Dragon Isles, and I think that's where you'll be headed, sir. Yeah. And then should Imric declare war on us, extremely high likelihood he will because he's not at war with anybody. And we can always turn you towards him as well. No island here? Yeah, unfortunately not, but all good. You'll be healed up to, if not quite full, getting there by the time you, get where you're supposed to get. Anyway, you have Chaos Vanguard for the Khorne Gores, so let's get a second point in that. Then you have Hammer into Anvil for the Gorby's chariots. Then you have... There's something else here, isn't there? Yes, the Blood Beasts use a different tree. Alright, so let's put a couple points into that as well. Also, Skyla, you've leveled your rank 31, very solid. Let's start moving you towards Foe Seeker. Like so. You've got that chainsword, so you're not going to lose in a one-on-one. This army may actually get a lot of, well, some mileage out of esteemed combatant with the when defending thing, as odd as that may seem for Khorne. So we'll give you that. And then the 2 Chaos Chariots have already ranked up from that fight, which is why we prioritize them in charging and attacking first over the Gorby's Chariots, and we'll immediately upgrade both of them to Gorby's Chariots. There we go. Now it's Gorby's to clock. And yes, we'll use some regular chariots in another army, it's just not this army. This is all about, this is Skyla's thing, plus some beastmen, just because, and that's what we're keeping it as. Anyway, Skarby, you were going to possibly auto-resolve and then reoccupy? You probably won't be able to move towards Crooked Fang Fort immediately afterwards. Anyway, yeah, let's just auto-resolve it, it's fine. Auto-resolve, damage, but not unexpected. We will sack this for a solid 25k. And I got a color Khorne out of it. Very nice. Alrighty, now just a double check. Yeah, you're not going to be able to reach Crooked Fang Fort. This is then going to have to wait until we move towards wherever else. We could also send these guys to occupy Karak Asgal, but if we march stance this way, might be able to get closer to Imrik faster. How are you doing, by the way, rats? You are down to 8. Well, actually, still have plenty of settlements, but your armies seem to have been destroyed. Sorry, Queeky. I feel bad. Anyway, just occupy Asgal. It's fine. It's fine. Alrighty, what's the likelihood that you besiege us immediately? I'm not going to risk it. So Skarby, stay out here, not in the settlement. And then we got the war arena, which we can it's expensive. Alright, first of all, this is... Oh, it's mountainous green territory. That's nice. Let's get the cultist camp. We'll keep the war arena for now, but we'll probably delete it in rather short order. Alrighty, that was Skarby. Tavi, did you guys want to just sit here for a little bit? Yeah. You're kind of waiting, so let's sit there. You have one more turn of channeling, so just sit there for one more turn. You, Grawl, are with everybody, with Eddie and Co. Pev, the Storm Ravens, oh right, all of you guys. Go towards Tribe Slaughter. ARBAAL. Excuse me? You've taken the Pillar of Skulls. You have made a tremendous error in judgment. Archaon, or Archaon's minion, whoever did that. Tremendous error in judgment. You will come to regret that one, I think. Anyway, let us move towards Tribe Slaughter. No, it's Malefex, not Archaon, with actually a pretty solid army. Good for him. Back for 10k, eh? We wouldn't be able to keep this anyway. And if something attacks this, not much we could do about it right now, I think. Alright, just sack it. I'd rather have the investiture. I'm not super fond of the casualty thing, but all good. Alright, like so. And sack it. And then stop moving, and then we will have you occupy it. Hey, right, that counted as Kislev, so free money. Yeah, well, we're about to spend all of it. It's all gonna disappear. And a decent chunk of skulls as well. More importantly, however, we will have you occupy Tribe Slaughter. Then we will have ARBAAL move into Tribe Slaughter. Then we will have Pav trade these guys, which will become Skull Crushers, or maybe some, well, maybe 2 Skull Crushers and 2 Knights. I don't want to go too overboard on Skull Crushers because they're insanely overpowered. This is fine. Oh, that reminds me. Skarbrand. Get the hero. Well, you know what? Oh, let's get them when we move. They're not the Heralds of Khorne's Fury aren't actually for Skarbrand. They're for the Bloodletter army, but obviously we don't have the Bloodletter army complete yet. So, you know, I figure we give them to Skarby for now. You cannot switch stances. You can, however, encamp, and I'm gonna do that so that we can generate a giant. I'd like a second one, but it's all good. I think the giants will be in this army. I think it'll sort of look like a sort of classic Chaos Warrior army in some ways, and the giants will help out with that. Could even get it some hell cannons if we really wanted to, but I'll think about it. Don't want to be too similar either. I'll think about it. Anyway, anything else we need to do here? I don't think so. You're at 17 out of 20. Giving you 2 giants will... Oh! A moment. World Walkers... We need to upgrade this thing. We do have the skin wolves, but that's not enough. Thunderbuses, fire glaives, we got magma cannons, iron demons. Ooh, yes, skullcracker's the main thing I want. Oh, we could maybe put some skullcrackers into ARBAAL's army. I feel like he might appreciate those. I mean, they are technically demonic, but they're not demonic in the same sense. I'll think about it. We need to upgrade you. Oh, but we need to go for military alliance to upgrade. Ah, would you look at that? Go for the military alliance then. With the Wolfric.
Without doubt.
Just for the additional allegiance and the access to the global recruitment. And you have a mission for us, Compule. I don't know if we're gonna bother chasing Compule down, but just in case we do. Alrighty, let's make sure that nobody else can or needs to move. Just to double check, blood harvesters. Haha, see, somebody did need to move. Hello. There's a March Dancing Elven army here. The only thing is, they may actually be of use to us right now, in the sense that we could, in theory, use them... Wait, do I actually want to declare war on them right now? They're still fighting Kairos. And I feel like we don't have another army to push this way if the elves actually just bypass everything and go through the territories of the Bloody Hands, so maybe we ignore them for now. Much as I would like to attack this guy here with this army. I think you're just going to keep gathering islands for now. Unless they attack you, in which case, well, that's life. Alright, go this way. I'd like to see if we got anything interesting island-wise. What is this? It's a fill cargo, so go... Wait. If you go... Nah. Alright. Just go to as near to the fill cargo as you can. Like so. Okay, just 1 materials at sea game. Just 1. It would really, really help a lot. Alrighty, and I believe other than the scout, that was it. Alright, so scout. Go scout out Valkia, please. And as soon as you're done moving, we could do a little bit more of that building. Alright, so, this place, most definitely. Go for trophy chambers. And do we want to upgrade the growing rage? It is a yellow territory, so I feel like it's probably worth it. And go for trophy racks, okay. Now, let's start from the top. Where are we missing or can upgrade trophy racks? Without hopefully upgrading any main settlements, because they're very expensive right now. Oh, I did want another Blood Reaper, though, so let's get that Cornate Furnace. Also, I don't want to look at it. Ooh! The Cornate Totem is now available, the Chaos Knights are available, and the Minotaurs are available. I did want 2 more Wrathmongers, if nothing else. Let's at least get the Cornate Totem, but I'm gonna maybe hold off on the other stuff. Tribe Slaughter will need to be repaired, and we will need to... Most likely, similar to Storm Fragment, we'll need to use defensive structures here. Oh, you're a dimensional tear. You're going to have to be swapped out anyway. Alright, I'm gonna let you go for now. What about this thing? It's just income from buildings, which is not a lot here anyway. Plain of Tuskers, you can, I guess, upgrade the harbor. It's a little bit of money. And I do want those furs, I think. Unless I'm misrecalling. Yeah, it's missile resistance for armies faction-wide. So yeah, upgrade the Dark Bastion here, but ignore Sudenburg. Here, we've got trophy racks aplenty. Trophy racks, and... Huh? Dies. Oh, this looks like a salt camp at the thing. But yeah, whatever. It's probably the crushed up stuff that is made to make the dyes, like, I don't know, beetle husks or something. Let's see, what else do we have here? The Forge. Okay, we are not going to prioritize you. This is probably also not worthy of prioritizing. You're fine. Lamia. I believe you're going to be a Dark Bastion, unless I kept you as a Dimensional Cascade for a reason, but I don't feel like I did. Karagarud, that's a trophy rack. Yes, yes. Great Desert of Araby. No, Black Pyramid of Nagash. We do need to upgrade you, and we will switch you to Dimensional Rift. Because it just makes sense. Cursed Jungle and Temple of Skulls. I think we will upgrade you guys to Dark Bastions. For now, we may need to switch later, but I think we're okay. Let's do this. You know what? Maybe you can stay as a cascade, as a dimensional breach. And then you can... Actually, you know what? What does this give us the ability to do? Oh, nothing. Maybe we'll do all dimensional breaches in the Kingdom of Beasts and the Temple of Skulls. Why not? Because I tend to do the mortal buildings much more because they have value that the other ones don't, so, you know. What else do we have here? We already went through Khemri. Am I crazy? Maybe I'm crazy. Alright, just ignore it. Let's get another cultist camp of gems. Let's get another trophy chamber. We can get this thing for growth, and then let's keep upgrading that dimensional cascade. Huh. Do I want Kasabara's one? I don't know, whatever. This thing will be upgraded, and you can go to tier 2. Let's also upgrade those trophy racks. Okay, we still have 36,000 gold remaining, but I don't want to go through the list again, so I think I'm going to hold off and just upgrade Kofar Harbor for the cash that it generates. And I guess the spices as well, because it similarly helps generate cash. Nothing else I think here is critical. Or at the very least won't give us any additional capacities, which was the main thing that we would be after. Sorcerer's Islands. Oh, you know what? Just do a dimensional rift here. Yeah. Alright. Anyway, skip. And there was a damaged building somewhere, but I don't think we care where, so let's end the turn. Skullthorn, wait. Unholy Manifestations. Yeah, we got 7 turns. There's a decent likelihood that the next ascension will be Khorne. I don't remember what exactly it will be, but there is that likelihood, so we gotta pay attention to it. Instantly replenishes faction leader's army. That'll allow us to auto-resolve in a pinch. And the rest of this I think we can ignore. The Hungering Blades is really nice, but we don't need it right now. Oh, also, I wanted to get a few flesh hounds for ARBAAL. Yeah. Let's see if we can't globally recruit some for him. See how expensive that is. I feel like it was expensive, but anyway. Peace treaty, no. Sorry, buddy. I love you, Queeky. I'll play you someday. But now is not that day, especially considering you've got the, you know, similar sort of start. Although I suppose we could do the, I could do 8 peaks in Old World. That's the one. Alrighty, no further attacks? Fair enough. Alright, Supervisor, Confederation, Disciples of the Maw, and Feastmaster. I see Imrik appears to have moved away from Desolation of Nagash. Interesting. Settlement Infected, Karakazgal. No, not a Skaven Plague. Okay, get the heck away from that. Terrible. Oh, there's another Skaven Plague here. Okay, you know what? We'll maybe raise Crooked Fang Fort and just try to get away from it. This place, we'll need to occupy Misty Mountain and deplaguify. Do we not also have a tech somewhere that... a deplaguifying tech? Huh. Did I already build a deplaguifying tech? Research it? Maybe it's not here. I don't think it's an armaments, though. It doesn't feel like an armaments sort of thing, does it? It doesn't to me. Huh, maybe I just missed it. Or maybe we don't have an anti-plague thing. Either way, we have to go to exist always, so we're gonna ignore it. Infected, or new regional power, Sylvania. I like the sound of that. Krad Tommen, drawn to destruction. Let's upgrade you to a soul keep. And we can also upgrade this cultist now. Oh, wow, I did not see what our money situation was. I guess heal you. Or repair you, but concerning. Alrighty. We need to keep killing things. So Skarby, you are not going to Crooked Fang Fort. Funnily enough, you could kill Compule. We do have the mission to kill him. It does take you out of your way a little bit. But it will enable us to immediately build the giant, won't it? Damn it. Alright, fine. You'll recover your HP at least. Though I hate to take you out of the way, but it is what it is. Alright, auto-resolve. And we at least can pop off Offer's Tribute from that. There we go. Ally mission successful, Potion of Foolhardiness, and we still recover at least some of the HP. Though, one of the problems is that we'd have to go into Crooked Fang Fort. I guess we could try to loop around it. We will take Spite Peak. I assume 8 Peaks belongs to these guys, which is going to be their new capital, so we go through Bitterstone Mine towards 8 Peaks. It'd be nice to attack the dwarves, but frankly they're pretty much broken already, so they don't matter. Alright, I was going to send Skarby after Imrik, but I guess we'll go this way first. Yeah, go like this. Huh. Too bad we can't... wait. Yeah, we can't recover HP right now. Alright, fair enough. Fair enough. Hey, you. Gulgast. You're going this way. And this is a Nurglite plague, not a Skaven plague, so it doesn't really matter as much. We get this here a Dreadrock. Might be a fun fight, though.
Let the slaughter commence.
You also need a cultist, don't you? Alright, you're gonna head to Dragonfang Mount regardless of the plague, I guess. I mean, we could attack these guys, but... What's the plague do again? What's this one do? Campaign movement range reduction, battle healing cap reduction, vigor loss reduction. That's kind of unfortunate, but it doesn't do anything to our speed or our armor. I think we'll be okay. Go here to the Sea of Storms. Should rename it to the Sea of Khornes. Anyway, you. You will die in 1 turn. I could use you to help attack Dragonfang. Now, you know what? Stay here. Just because if Gulgast can land, maybe we can use you to help out and not take any damage. Well, take less damage. And not have to waste our time in the garbage little fight. You guys were supposed to go join Skarby, but that's no longer the case. Alrighty, you the Doom Masters will raise a Spite Peak now. Like so. And you will go, I guess, Skulls. Like so. Then, after Spite Peak, I would like to go to Sump Pit, but... there could be an army this way. I guess we can move you in. Wait, are you dead next turn, or are you good? No, you're still okay. Go March Dancing this way. You can't occupy it. I would really prefer not to pick up the Plague, though. Alright, you guys can maybe go to Dringo Karaz. Try to get you not to die. While you Doom Masters try... Oh, Imric is still there. Damn it. Oh. The fog just made him the fog of war made him disappear. Otherwise I would have moved Skarbrand this way. Alright, we can still loop around like this. Imric is just in such an irritating place here that it's, you know, well, irritating. Anyway, you guys, I'd like you to all go to Dringo Karaz carefully. Carefully because, again, we don't want to pick up the Plague, and at the same time we don't want to... So, like so, and like so. We don't want to get caught in an ambush and lose all these guys. It won't be an issue soon, though, as Grog Trollmouth is moving in. You March Stance now, just to heal up a little bit, and oh, this puts you into Asgal. Wait, okay, now you're still on Death Gorge. Good. So, see, I tried the thing. I tried to tell him to defend Mount Arachnos. See that he's still moving northward, not even trying to defend it with his only army, and unfortunately, it feels like it's not going to be useful. You can go into regular stance now. Sit there in regular stance for 1 turn. I don't want to raid these guys just in case they get wise to the idea of us attacking. You will now pick up the Silent. And everybody's kind of out of position now, but whatever. And you can get arms and armor for better performance. Free war banner. That will be very nice for the furious bellowers of Skull Cannoning. The Regiment of Renowned Skull Cannon. Anyway, move this way. Check out if there's any more islands to be found. Oh, I put you into attrition? No. This is upkeep. Wait, no, it isn't. Oh, no, it's a lack of bloodshed attrition. Alright, fair enough. Fair enough. Major, you're fine. Gruul, you're fine. ARBAAL, you are not fine. Boris. Did you sack it, really? Did you sack it instead of taking it? Frickin' heck, Boris. You. Get another giant. Like so. I did say I wanted ARBAAL to have a couple of flesh hounds because I feel like they'll match what he's got going on. You can reach Boris with what you currently have. He's got some solid units. We wouldn't be able to move our giant in, and then this would remain, but I guess we could just declare war on Archie, and then that'll kind of solve the situation. There's a skull pile here, too. I mean, it's ARBAAL versus Boris, right? Did I even conceivably say no to the to this fight? I don't think I can. I also gotta try to remember to give this to Skarby for like the 50th time. Anyway, what do we have here? Oh, you're waiting for rank 10, so we can't do anything with you. You are waiting for nothing. Let's get Fill the Chalice. Now that we do a lot of fire damage other than the Knights of the Brazen Throne. And then you are so close to rank 10. Alright, you're getting there, boys. You're getting there. We don't have any anti-large here, do we? Other than, actually, unlike regular skull crushers, these guys are not anti-large. So the bears are going to be a problem, but, well, the bears are always a problem, aren't they? Alrighty, go. I did not see that you had another army. But you will not run. I admire that, Boris. Truly I do. Knights of the Brazen Throne. Well, let's see how you take all these guys on. Ooh, 68 and 40 versus 70 and 62. Very nice. Go.
We will water his fields with blood, seed them with souls. With scouts, we grow his throne.
Alrighty, here we go. Boris versus ARBAAL. At least that's the way we'd like it. Boris seems to be running away from ARBAAL, and oh wow, the Erskine looks quite a bit bigger than a flesh hound, doesn't he? Go figure. But I suppose it's not important. What is important is that we finally managed to close the distance with Boris, and by hitting him a few times, it seems that he has popped Fury of Ursun, and is thus going into Rampage, allowing the two to duel each other. Now, this is obviously going to be something of a fight here. We have, well, roughly even stacks, and the enemy has much higher veterancy than we do. It looks like Boris's main stack never lost a fight, so should be pretty okay. Otherwise, it's not just Boris versus ARBAAL, it's also the Knights of the Blazing Throne versus Boris's Warbear Riders. They are anti-large and we are anti-infantry, so technically they have the advantage there, but we have a Regiment of Renown, and they are not the Oath Brothers of Tor, and just a regular unit, though high veterancy. And they have lost about 60% of their HP, while we have lost about 15% of ours. It looks like getting rear-charged by our units has pretty much destroyed them. Speaking of getting destroyed, ARBAAL has lost about 10% of his HP, and despite the fact that Boris is at level 27 compared to ARBAAL's 19, he is running away in fear, as he has lost half of his HP. ARBAAL pops off his explosion to try to get those units away from him, but unfortunately, he seems to suffer from the same issue as Skulltaker and does get stuck in the press and trapped in the pile of enemy infantry. Which is a bit of a shame, but what can you do? But I think we know that he can defeat Boris pretty soundly from the looks of it. In the meantime, the rest of the battle has been joined. Zargard facing off against the Chaos Warriors of Khorne. Axe versus Saber, shield on shield, heavy armor versus heavy armor. We'll see who comes out ahead. And with these Zargard versus the Twin Axes, they're actually fighting fairly evenly. We're slightly ahead, but not by all that much. On the bright side, though, it looks like Boris has found his courage, returning once again to fight ARBAAL. And as for how well that's going to go for Boris, probably not so much. It didn't go so well the first time, and I don't think that's going to change. In the meantime, we are going to join the fray with our Marauder Horsemen of Khorne, smashing into the enemy rear lines to help out, as they've been checking an axe at the enemy here and there, but we may as well continue in melee. And Boris is attempting to escape again, but I think by the looks of it, he's pretty much doomed, about 10% of his HP remaining. It seems that he doesn't really want to fight ARBAAL anymore, because I guess the AI recognizes that he has no chance here, but it also looks like he can't escape, as ARBAAL is faster on the Flesh Hound, and then Boris is on the Warbear. And it looks like with that, the duel between these two titans comes to a close as Boris is defeated. Though I do expect that since we will peel off to fight against Archaon a little bit, we will probably face off against him once more, but not with his original stack. In the meantime, we've still got the enemy in by our blood and, well, other enemies that have not yet routed, so a little bit more work to do. A few throwing axes go the way of the enemy bears before the next charge of our Marauder Horsemen of Khorne. 53 weapon strength, nothing too crazy, but also not too bad. What's our charge bonus at? 41? It's alright. I wonder if we can get to that charge bonus up a little bit higher. Not that it'll matter over much for this particular battle, as the balance of power has shifted to about 85% in our favor. I really like this contest between the Zargard and the Chaos Warriors of Khorne, obviously. I suppose if we had chosen, then it would go really our way here, but it feels a little bit more even against the Chaos Warriors, so I'm happy there. Anyway, one of our units gets severely damaged, and we do back them off. They're not routing, they're just severely damaged enough that we move in with the spawn, and then have the Knights of the Brazen Throne move in to knock the enemy out for good, plus of course ARBAAL himself. And there we go. With that, I do believe the last of the Zargard has shattered, and with that, the battle is ours. And though their king had fallen, I suppose the Zargard was used to it, and thusly kept on fighting to their credit. Alrighty, there you have it. ARBAAL versus Boris leads to or ends in a resounding defeat for the latter. 3.3k money out of this. Not too bad. I wanted to devour captives, but I think we should still have it for 2-ish turns, so I guess we will offer as tribute as now. And it does give us upkeep reduction, which hopefully will help a little bit with this. But anyway, a nice fight. Several of our Chaos Warriors of Khorne did take a little bit of damage. The Knights of the Brazen Throne obliterated the Warbear Riders that they fought, while obviously ARBAAL obliterated Boris. We have 16k damage on one of the units of Sword and Board ones, and 19 and 18k damage on a couple of the Twin Axes. I was quite impressed with the performance of the Sword and Board Zargard, despite the lack of great weapons. This one, for example, got 12k damage, and were very much out-fighting the Chaos Warriors, so pretty impressed with their work there. Anyway, we will offer his tribute. And Boris is a pretty nice tribute, if only his defeat rate was kind of terrible, but I suppose if we end up fighting Archaon with you, it kind of makes sense. I fear that you'll just run away and we won't be able to reach you, but I guess we'll see in a second. ARBAAL, we got these 3 points. We want to try to get towards your high rank stuff, but I guess the Knights of the Brazen Throne will want it immediately. And again, you are already part of this, so we basically might want to choose one of these things to pick up. I guess we just do Harbingers of Death. We need to spend 3 points somewhere, and oh, right, wait. If we get a few Fleshhounds and Ferocious Hunters, alright, let's do that. Let's do that. I need to rely on non-Fleshhound monsters. And the only reason I want to do that is because, you know, we have a Fleshhound for ARBAAL as his mount, so we'll try to do 3 Fleshhounds as... let's see. At a global recruitment, they cost 3.2k. Still a little bit on the expensive side. How quickly would we be able to recruit them out of this? Fleshhound. Yeah, if we use Tribe Slaughter as a, or build it as a dimensional breach, fine. I'd rather just build them like that. Anyway, kill Macrina Slakta if you can. I fear she'll run. Yeah, oh wow. She'll run far, mind you. And I believe we won't be able to reach that skull pile, so we'll go into raiding stance and annoy the, whoever you are. And we, yeah, see, I shouldn't have gone for Macrina. I should have just occupied Pillar of Skulls, but all good, I hope. Anyway. And we still have Archie's armies to potentially fight, and I'm willing to bet that it's a tier 5 at the, no, tier 4 at the Writhing Fortress, so it'll be worth our time to go there, and we won't be going there this episode because we are out of time, and I'm gonna have to call this particular episode here. It was a pretty darn decent one, in my opinion, as we got lots of great battles, tried out a few of our new armies, saw plenty of units do their thing, and I expect more to come next episode, so stay tuned. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.